gentlemen, and welcome to the Property Committee meeting today, Wednesday, the 10th of June. Chairman's announcements. This meeting is being streamed to the internet, so please speak loudly and clearly. Please raise your hand if you wish to speak. Please, can only one person speak at a time. Mobile phones should either be switched off or silenced. Apologies for absence.
Received, Chairman, from Councillors Gale, Duck and Benga for approved reasons.
Propose we accept those. Those in favour?
So who seconded that, Chairman?
Craig seconded. Those in favour is carried. Then receive declarations of interest, notification to changes of members' interests. Are there any? Speak now for a couple of piece. No, thank you very much. Item 4, approval of the minutes of the Property Committee meeting held on the 11th of February, previously circulated, to confirm and sign the minutes as a correct record. Anybody got any comments, observations, typographical questions?
Maybe it was 2026, not 2025.
Yes.
No?
I propose we accept them as accurate.
Thank you very much. Seconded by Craig. Those in favour? Thank you very much. Clerk's report.
Just to report, Chairman, that we've got the date for our Bloom judging, which is Monday the 22nd of June, which we're working towards.
A wonderful time. Thank you very much. Public session. Members of the public are welcome to attend this meeting and speak for a maximum of 3 minutes about an item on the agenda for the meeting at the discretion of the chairman. They must give their name. There's nobody present, but we do welcome people to come and attend these meetings. Item 7, to consider the funding issue of BSRA lease renewal legal fees, Appendix L. I have a couple of questions, elucidation really. In the italics, he mentioned the cost of getting a new lease. Who is he?
Oh, sorry. Presumably this is the somebody from the Football Foundation. I think that's.
Oh, right.
Sorry.
I believe that was the case.
Right. And the cost of getting the new lease prepared could be covered by the grant application, so it's a conditional. Do you know what those conditions are?
Oh, no more than what's in front of you, Chairman.
Oh, right. Yes.
Just from obviously this has all come through Better Billing Service, which obviously Doug and I sit on. So it's fairly limited as to what we've kind of heard back on this. But yes, it's conditional, but I'd expect that if it can be covered, it should be covered. I think this is more about what would happen if it were to be covered. Is that correct, Clark?
Chairman, sorry, I'm not quite sure I understand the question, but just to remind members that the issue is, and I did report this at a previous meeting, at the moment, the BSRA have a lease. It's got lots of years on it.
Yeah.
Some years ago, the tennis club were in exactly the same position. They also wanted a much longer lease in excess of 25 years in order to obtain grants. And we took the view that you want the lease that isn't yet up, you pay for it.
Yes.
And that's why there's this slight issue.
Fair enough.
Sorry to just remind members.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, and I do remember that. So basically, what we're saying is the legal fees that we agreed at a previous meeting to say yes, they can have. The legal fees can be sorted. We obviously given them the money, and therefore, and now.
No, sorry, Chairman. I was remiss in assuming that members would remember my previous reports intimately. Previously, they had said, "Can we have a new lease?" And given that they've got no money, could they use some money we allocated to them from our SIL fund when we had some?
Yeah.
We'd allocated them towards their much needed drainage works. The works hadn't been done. But members said, we'll agree to the new lease, but we don't feel inclined at this moment in time to let you have that money because we don't know what you're doing with your drainage and billing service. So there's issue that members have agreed to the new lease, that money still sat there that was earmarked from us to them for drainage works. I have no mandate to say, I mean, obviously generally they pay our fees as well, which is not unreasonable. The issue is, how do we take this forward, given that they've clearly got no money, but they want this lease, and they might find the money for this legal work out of this huge lottery type application they may or may not get. Sorry, I'm not sure if that's how it is.
So what we're being asked is, can we advance the money now on the
Nationally, yes.
on the basis that we expect it to be repaid when some grant money comes through from the Football Association or from the Better Building Service Fund. And if it doesn't, then they have 5 years, from exactly when they're through yet, but they will have a period of time in which to reimburse us.
Oh, that's pretty good summary, Chair.
Is that a fair?
And roughly how much are we talking about?
Oh, if I remember, Chairman, we're looking at 2,500 each, because basically it's quite straightforward because this lease isn't that old, so obviously it's easy.
So is it just a matter of changing the numbers?
More or less, but you know,
The-
money. So, Chairman, you're the professional.
Yes. 500
Yeah.
500 would be the price.
If it was a case of getting your tip packs out and a pen, I'd do it, but I'm
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Rub it out.
Right.
Okay.
Only one thing to add to that possibly, and Craig will correct me if I'm not remembering it well enough, but when we talked about this at the BBF meeting with HDC, I think it was kind of assumed that the pitch would be done et al. And it was all going to be funded by the Football Foundation. And they kind of moved on pretty quickly. Didn't really want to know too much more about it. But there were implications which were not covered because the provision of the pitch itself might be dependent upon other works, remedial works.
So
So there will be a cost implication, whichever way.
So in terms of, yes, I mean, we're obviously only speaking about the legal ramification of the lease here. In terms of the rest of the work, which is a bit of a moot point, but Better Building Services were willing to fund part of it, which I believe actually came out of Section 106 in the end.
That's right.
And then the rest of it was done by the Football Foundation. So actually, there's nothing to us other than the legal cost, which is then being covered by BSRA anyway.
So it's a risk of what, 2.5K?
Yeah.
I think 5 years is fine. To get to
I didn't know how I was trying to progress this.
500 a year if you had to write it off. Yeah.
So are we happy with the proposal as it stands?
Well, I would propose that we should adopt that proposal.
Right. Seconded by Craig. Those in favour? Thank you very much. Right. Now, a contentious issue. Appendix B, we are asked to consider, if I can get my agenda out again. To consider the site and budget, consider the site and budget the adult gym equipment at Jubilee Fields, item B. Anybody got any observations they wish to make? No? Can I take it then? Oh, sorry, Jamie.
It's envisaged that, so he suggests a budget of £50,000. Do we have anything to triangulate that against? Do we know what other councils have spent, or where's that? Are we just going to take his word for it, or have we done?
Chairman, if I may, the gentleman Michael Carter, who I walked around Jubilee with, he had recently done a similar project in West Bromwich, and the budget was about 50,000.
Okay.
He did say, Chairman, and members may have seen these in various brochures, that you can buy a bundle of adult gym equipment, 10 pieces for about 10 grand. And he said, trying to be polite, you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
I'm just mindful that these are with moving parts outside all year round. So I do think it's worth having quality rather than cheap jack. Kit.
I quite agree.
Councillor Wallace, been very desperate to speak.
Yeah,
I'm not desperate to speak, but I'm.
Sorry, you've
I'll take,
Basically,
I'll take my chance.
hand was falling off, I was meant to say.
We've all probably walked this perimeter, and I mean, some of the equipment there is really dilapidated and shameful, actually. Just if we do agree to compartmentalise it and bring it all together on the advice of this expert, because he thinks more use will be made of it, you move from one piece to the other rather than having to go all the way around the field. That still leaves a lot of dilapidated equipment. What's going to happen to that?
Chairman, if I may, we have over the last few years been replacing a few bits as they, so it has proved very costly, and the gist of it is, as we have removed one last week, now a couple of weeks ago now, as the remaining ones start to fail, they will be removed, as they definitely have been told that's the end of their life. We're not going to remove ones that we might replace 3 or 4 years ago.
No, but if we don't take that line, then of course a dilapidated piece of equipment could be a hazard.
Well, that's where we have agreed in previous meetings that we will be removing it when it's told it's
Well, as long as
plastic.
that's interesting.
We do, trust me.
Paul, thank you. I've got two kind of concerns with this at the moment, is that if the Western Building Service goes ahead, and I appreciate it's a big if, I would think any sort of suggestions we can give as where things might be going, only very much draft.
Yeah.
And I would be concerned that if we put an area aside now and put gym equipment on it, is that going to cause problems later if that goes ahead? Because things are bound to change. And also linked with that, I wonder if, given the money that's been saved, that the developers will not have to fund the tennis side of things, because the tennis club have pulled out, should we not be asking them to fund this instead? I mean, that will delay the project, I appreciate that, but that would be my key concerns.
Chairman, I'm going to give a slight update on that.
yes,
The plan you have in front of you is the latest, but not the most hot off the press plan. And I'm told that the indoor tennis courts have already been replaced apparently by a couple of demand by indoor cricket practice, something or other, apparently.
in Burnett.
Yeah, so, and I believe they are coming to present at next council in July, the latest thought layout.
Right.
But I do hear members say, I mean, what members are saying, because these pieces of jigsaw are likely to be moved around yet again. But the thing is, if we want to progress this with this scheme, where else can it go? It is obviously the obvious site to put it in terms of all the council's various assets. Have it somewhere near other sporting and outdoor pursuits.
Yes, yes. Craig,
Can I just check on, and I'm sorry I wasn't at the last meeting for this, but I'll check on how widely used we think these will be as well, given we have got a few of these elsewhere in the new development as well, not necessarily ours, but there is some gym equipment with a Bellway site near the roundabout. There's some gym equipment there. I just worry about how widely used they be. As Paul says, if they, we've got to spend an awful lot of money to get them located. I understand Section 106, but without them being used, are we kind of throwing good money after bad, or agreeing to throw good money after bad?
well, according to this, the gentleman what knows, who did the walk around with Greg, part of the reason that the existing stuff isn't being used is because it's scattered around.
So that's an specialist advisor, far more educated than I am in these situations, but actually isn't necessarily a member of the village. I would suggest that actually we should be finding out a little bit more about their use and people's willingness to use them going forward, if we were to relocate them.
Paul.
Well, let's go back to this thing, because we just covered it. I mean, it says here that members agree to support their replacement of outdoor gym equipment pending further information we've got and public consultation. Are we not jumping the gun now by deciding this without having the public consultation?
Chairman, if I may,
Yeah, please do.
I totally agree with Councillor Berry. I mean, I don't think anyone suggested we were going to do anything on the ground until we had some public consultation. But at the moment, we haven't even agreed a potential site. The first thing they're going to say is, where are you going to put it? We haven't even agreed that yet.
It's chicken,
Somewhere near the cricket pitch.
it's chicken and egg though, the public consultation might guide us.
Yeah.
Let us have the egg first, then. Let's deal with the sites. And as far as I'm aware, these things, whilst you have to invent the concrete and all the rest of it, if necessary, they get in the way of any future development, then they'll have to be relocated.
If you can move.
Yes,
Actually,
I mean, it's
given
not
what's
as
been
though
said then, how about we don't do much more on this, but we say, do a public consultation saying, would you support the provision of some adult gym equipment at Jubilee, sites yet to be confirmed?
Well,
Vague.
you could also ask, where would you think it would be suitable to you? And then if everyone decides that that's the space,
No, of course. And that's way too broad, Craig. Sure.
Yeah.
I
No, we need to give-
You've got to give them some sort of. Otherwise, all the dilapidated stuff we've been talking about is simply going to be replaced as it is, where it is.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bit.
I think we have to show a site.
In which case, based on everything that was said, I would suggest that the one on the, which is in orange on the right-hand side of the paddle courts, as opposed to the one that's pretty much directly behind the cricket square, and being a former cricketer myself, I know that actually from a safety perspective, then you prefer it to be a little bit further away, but still within, distance of a footpath. I would say that's a much better option than the other one.
Yeah, I agree, Paul.
I think David does make a good point though. Maybe we could compromise and say, would you like it spread out amongst the trim dirt as is current, or would you prefer it in one area? This is where it will be. So they've got a choice, but not like a free for all where they could just come up with hundreds of options.
I think a choice is
But
quite
that's rather going to get the advice that we can.
Can I just, actually, it was very interesting talking to this guy. This guy clearly knows what he's talking about. I thought also, wouldn't it make more sense to put these dotted around? But he was talking particularly about, for example, when people often go on a fitness trail or adult gym, they often go with a friend. And a lot of these people may well be females. And it's quite a remote location at times, that place. And he said, you've got to think about how, I'm not just saying sexist or just assume that only ladies are going to use these, but a couple of ladies, perhaps, the site's empty. If I'm on this bit and my good friend is on the one around the corner on the hedge, they like to go to see them. Well, a lot of people go to the gyms in pairs or couples, sort of safety numbers, or it's a you spar off each other. And he was talking about the importance of being able to be near your friend on this equipment or within sight of them. I've never really thought about that because it's not really the sort of thing I do. And I think it's such a good point. And he said that's why a lot of these bits dotted around. In theory it works, but it doesn't, particularly in such a remote location where you've got hedges and things.
Yeah. I would have thought that people who are supportive of this idea at all would have been thinking of this as an outdoor opportunity to get some fresh air as well. But it's very much like their indoor gym expectation, where they go from this piece to that piece to that piece to that piece to that piece. They don't walk miles between the two.
Yeah, I think it's quite right.
So what do we gather from that?
Well, then we should be looking to, if we are going to consult, we should be suggesting through our consultation that this is where it should be and why.
Yeah. Okay.
In the vicinity of, keep it quite vague.
No, I'm persuaded by Councillor Jones. You don't want it anywhere near the cricket pitch.
That's why it's just on this one.
Yes.
It's the best, the most preferable.
That is out of the two.
So what would be the consultation about then? If we say to them that that's the site is going to have to go on?
So it's
Well,
more
the
about its
council-
use, I think, was the consultation.
Oh, so whether we
Yeah.
go for it or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or there is another aspect, people would still use a trim trail and might miss the distance between the two. And now we're asking them to comment upon the consolidation of it into
look
a
at-
mini gym.
Okay. Well,
Have we got that?
If that's the will of the committee, I apologise to that.
yeah, good.
Are we happy with that proposal?
What is the
Too busy.
Who wants to sum it up?
Yeah,
John?
exactly.
So, my proposal is that we put forward the site on the right-hand side there, which on the crossroads there, as a proposed site for the adult gym equipment, but that is still subsequent. Sorry, it's still subject to public consultation of its use and need.
Whether it should be spread out or concentrated.
Yeah, I'll do that, yeah.
Right.
I'll second that.
Are we, right, James, second that. Those in favour?
Very good discussion. I think that was.
I think we've got that.
More discussion.
Right.
Here we go.
We should have
Consider options for Christmas lights, Appendix C.
Thanks. Yeah.
Show of hands,
I'm
please.
putting a time on this, 5 minutes.
My daughter would have loved this.
It's 1 minute, just 1 minute for each design.
Long list, short list.
We should have invited like school kids or something.
I
Yeah,
got
come on, it's
feedback from
fun.
school kids, don't worry about
What
that.
do I don't know.
Right, we'll take a straw poll to start. Those in favour of option 1?
Oh, we did it by,
Do we get one choice or two?
You get one
One
choice.
choice.
Only one.
Oh, no, that's not what it says here.
Ah.
I think it says you should have a plan B.
One,
Plan B
We're
to
promised
two.
two.
Okay,
Chairman, sorry, I need to throw a real curveball, keeping up sporting metaphors. Because we've had some further discussions in the office, we would like 3 options, because we can now have
Make it complicated.
That's broadened the equation
There you go.
exponentially.
from the suppliers, and just in case Enervio, who give license to put things on their columns, suddenly get struck with one's 10 kilograms, one's 11 kilograms.
Yeah.
So we have 3.
Okay.
so we'll rephrase it then. Option 1,
Yeah.
you've got 1 vote so
Yeah,
far.
yeah.
Okay, out of 3. So you've got 2 left.
Are you asking for around the table?
Yes, that'd be useful.
That would be
Well,
quite
we
a
use
good
it.
idea.
Right. Can you give me
1, 4, 6.
1, 4,
Hang on,
6?
yeah, 1, 4.
Yeah, got it. Okay. Craig.
3,
Hang on,
4, 6.
3, 4.
James.
2, 5, 6.
Oh, Susie, the clear winner. Odds are narrowing.
2, 3, 5.
2, 9,
2, it's another 3.
3.
4.
In all honesty, I'm not that bothered.
Yes, you are.
But I'm assuming that Craig's voted for history on the basis of the feedback he got, and I would have been interested to have heard that feedback. So I'll go for 3, 4, 6 as well then.
That was correct. So I should say my feedback was secured from 10 people, including 3 children.
It's only from 3.
Right, Chairman, if my maths are right, so the clear winner's option 6.
Yeah.
And then we have options 3 and 4 as joint second place. That gives us the 3 we were looking for. So that is quite helpful.
We ought to now eliminate and make just 2 choices.
I know, because they want 3.
There's no transferable vote.
But are we, yeah, so we're happy, yeah, I think that's fine.
So the winner is
6 with 3 and 4 as the backups.
3 and 4 is backups.
Thank you very much.
The rationale behind it was that just more Christmassy. The stars are more Christmassy than the rest, and I think these 2, especially 3 and 4, are a bit more Christmas tree-like. That was the thought process behind it.
I'm sure Councillor Gale will be pleased to hear this, because I remember we discussed this last 4 years ago. He said he wanted some stars.
Yeah, stars
So I thought
were,
that was quite good.
Right,
stars were
okay.
appreciated.
Thank you very much.
We've
So
done
can I have a
that.
proposal then, please?
Can we have a proposal for 3, 4 and 6?
I propose that we go with option 6 first, with a backup of option 3 and 4.
Those in favour?
Councillor Berry.
Second.
Thank you very much.
Right, we'll receive property updates for information only in Appendix D. Any observations? I have not a wonderful new word to me.
Oh, yeah.
Old Sussex dialect word for an alleyway.
Oh,
Twitter.
Twitten, yeah.
Call my bluff, where are you?
It's, I don't think it's that uncommon, but yes, it's definitely Sussex, yeah.
Definitely Sussex, right, yeah.
I just wanted, I mean, it was such an impressive piece, this. I don't know if
Really,
it-
we've started to use colour.
Yeah, exactly.
Which helps.
It's its graphic and its content. I mean, I don't know who's put this together, but it's extremely.
It's sort of 95%
Was it
of
this? Right, well, she should be congratulated,
Mm.
I do think.
Yeah.
And also, it is really very interesting to see what these guys get up to. And it is spelled out in such a lot of detail. I think a lot of people don't know what these people do and wonder what they're here for. And here it all is right before them. So if we could congratulate them at the same time as well as the author, then we also ought to try and publicise what these people get up to, because it's extremely positive.
James?
I've got a couple of one's a question, one's an observation really. Number 5, council staff are now assisting with regular weeding on site in the stationary community gardens. Is that quantified at all? I mean, it is supposed to be a community volunteer project. I just wonder how much.
Chairman, if I may give some assistance there, it's always been the aspiration, because don't forget that, I mean, particularly I believe they lost their prisoner again, which is really sad, and just when they're hoping to get a second one. And it had always been the plan that it would be nice if we had the capability to just give them like a couple of hours a week, maybe down there.
Yeah.
But that's probably all it is, as and when,
Yeah.
just to give it a bit of support. But otherwise, it's reliant on entirely on volunteers, and that's always not practical.
And the other is related to said Twitten. I think I've raised this point before. Church Path, where it comes down and joins Station Road. So Church Path comes down from the church and comes all the way down to Station Road opposite the school. And in that lower section, there's a lot of undergrowth, there's bushes. And some years ago, somebody was raped by somebody who jumped out of those bushes. And at that point, a lot of the bushes were cut back, a lot of the undergrowth was cut back to make it safer. It's now all grown back again. And I raise that as a risk.
I know exactly where you mean.
Yeah,
When I walk down, I think it's quite
yeah,
hiding.
yeah. And there was an incident there about 15 years ago, and the undergrowth was all cut back to make it safer. And of course, it's all grown back. So I raised that as a hazard we might want to do something about.
We've made a note.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just looking through the whole thing is, as I say, it's very comprehensive. But if we look to miscellaneous, and we go down to the second to last bullet point on the page, where it talks about the Chambers Mead car park. I don't know who else has seen Greg's very recent circulation about Chambers Mead getting even more possessive about who does what in where. And now they've discovered that they own 2 feet of the HDC car park, and now they're going to exclude 10 of the 17 places. Which is effectively what that says.
7, is it 7?
17,
Yeah.
there's 17 altogether, it's going to leave 10.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know whether this is out of spite or what, but I mean, what should we just be passive about this? Or should HDC rather be passive about this? This is taking away yet another opportunity for people to support the nighttime economy in Chambers Mead for nothing. Then why should they be denied this? And suddenly, because more people are making use of that, no doubt, and Chambers Mead are finding their revenues being reduced. Consequently, they've discovered that they own a bit of it and they want it back.
I support Doug's intervention very strongly. It seems to me it's just adding fuel to the flames of what's already a hot potato.
I mean, I just don't think we should be just, accepting this and discussing and noting it. I think we should be discussing what we can do about it.
Is this something that we can actually, we can influence, but we can't actually control?
Probably not, but the whole Chambers Mead thing, this is now such a blight on, in every sense, aesthetically, economically, community-wise, everything else. It's such a contentious place, And people are constantly talking about it.
Mm.
And,
Mm.
you know, I don't know what we should be doing, but HTC seems to be incredibly passive over it.
Yes, I do wonder the extent to which HDC have got an eye on the future and saying, well, it's actually.
Do they
No,
realise,
nothing to do
do they,
with us in 2 years'
have we
time.
made it very clear enough to them from a local perspective how devastating this is to the nighttime economy and to Billingshurst in general? I suppose is my point.
Well, we could certainly ask the clerk to write a stiff letter of concern, shall we say, about the activities there. Craig.
To your point, Chairman, I think potentially there is an element of the future, but I think that future sits even closer to us, which is why I think potentially closer to us, given any conversations about adoption of car parks eventually in the future, of which that potentially could be one, if that's the HDC.
Sorry, Chairman, it's been remiss of me, it's quite recent, that members will recall that we have expressed an interest in taking over some various play areas, open spaces and car parks as well. District have now come back to us and said they're not giving anyone any car parks, which comes as a great shock.
Okay, I'll take it back, but still.
Sorry, I should have given you that as an update. They changed their mind. Which came as a great shock.
I mean, I'm not disappointed by that. I think there are some elements of that I was concerned with at the time, but I do think that we shouldn't sit on our hands. I think we represent people as much as our district councillors do. I think we should be certainly expressing concern about it.
It's not new, and in the 5 years or so I've been listening to this debate, the subject has come up endlessly about acquisition, and we never seem to do anything about it. We always say, oh, it's going to cost millions of pounds, so we can't possibly afford it, so what's the point? Do we know that?
We can certainly make the inquiry.
Is that regarding the acquisition of the Chambers meeting?
The acquisition of the private car park by James.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting, actually.
As long
You
as
ask the question.
we should be shown to be doing so at least.
I would second that proposal.
We need to take a step back here. I'm surprised the clerk's allowing this, I must
Well, I
admit.
was starting to
This
think
is
that
not
this
any
is-
other business.
No,
We're
it's-
about to make decisions about something that's not even on the agenda, and the decisions are effectively meaningless. Whoever, if HTC wanted to challenge us or anybody involved in James' meeting, they say, well, actually, you did make that decision, it wasn't on the agenda. I think what a council needs to do is come up with a proposition and put that to full council. Because, you know, that's what we need to do. And I take Doug's point, I agree with him. I don't know what the answer is, but certainly we can't just have a debate here as a part of this item. And if we do debate it full council, we need something as a sort of proposition to work with.
Yeah, but part of the proposition, if I may say so, would be, well, how much is it going to cost? And without actually asking the question, how much would they be looking for? As at least some sort of figure, because at the moment I have no concept at all, unless we go to a land agent and say, well, give us a figure.
Yeah.
How else are we going to know?
Well, exactly.
But I take the point. This is outside the.
It is, but then okay, and I completely agree with Paul. You know, I wouldn't expect this meeting to take what I've just said and take action on it. What I would like the council to do is accept that we need to take some action on it and how we decide to do that. And if Paul suggests that a proposition is put together to be put to full council, then that's the way forward.
Chairman, to assist, would it help if the email I circulated today, I reported to full council with a preamble to consider the most recent information that was received from HDC on Carpenter Jenkins Mead or something like that, so you have then something to talk to maybe?
I mean, there is such a wealth of experience that's been gathered by the traders in Jenkins Mead that we ought to listen to and to take note of. I mean, we know that the proprietors of the Master Fryer have done an enormous amount and have taken a lead down there. No other trader seems to have done so, but they have. And I'm sure they've got some quantifiable material which can express the feeling that is being experienced.
Unfortunately, we don't have the whip hand here.
But I think,
James.
sorry.
Yeah, I had an exchange with a member, detailed exchange with a member of the public about this a few months ago, and I set down in writing what we knew at the time, and I think I may have copied everybody. I certainly copied Clark. There may be some bits of that email that would be useful to put within the said proposition.
Thank you.
Yeah, anyway, I think we should do a report to all the council members to understand what this, because there's also some planning. I mean, Doug and I have been looking through quite a number of applications, the cameras, the access, all this. It's just been piling up, and you just feel like they're trying to make this as hard as possible for a potentially hard negotiating, leverage. And so what we should do is put all these things down on a piece of paper, submit it to the council members, and say, this is piling up into a really a messy situation. You need to start, and everyone will have the same amount of information, and can then decide, well, yeah, maybe we should negotiate and start communicating with them.
I'll ask Clark to go away and think about it.
So I do need to give that some thought, Chairman, because you're asking me to prepare a report about something that we do not own, have no interest in. So it would be helpful if perhaps a councillor.
Hang on, no interest in.
No, we have no legal interest in any land there. I'm not saying.
No.
So I need to ponder that, unless it would help me possibly if a councillor or two wrote to me and said, could we have this as an agenda item to do something? Because we don't generally have chit-chat items on agendas. They must be to do or not do something, otherwise we could be there all night. So I do need a bit more guidance from members as to what I put on the agenda. Because I'm sure the chairman won't thank me for putting some woolly thing on the next agenda.
What's the chairman saying?
I couldn't agree more. I mean, like I said earlier, but what we need is a councillor or group of councillors to put a proposition forward, listing what they want the council to do. Right. So I would suggest by tonight's discussion, it sounds like to object to HDC reconfiguration of car park and to inquire about how much it would cost to close, whatever. But we can't just have a general chit-chat item. And actually, we're not meant to have that on our agendas anyway. I do think another reason it shouldn't be discussed tonight, it should go into another meeting at some point, is because, of course, big members of the public have not the opportunity to come and tell us about it. If it's on the agenda, they can come and tell us what they think. If we're doing it like this, they're not party to this decision. So I think the emphasis has got to be on councillors to get something to Greg. Can you put this forward as a proposition?
Right.
Personally.
James.
This may be again straying too far off the agenda, but have we closed the proposition to have at least a pedestrian access through from the other car park through that bit of land that the council bought behind the chemist?
Chairman, if I can just remind the councillors, the district council purchased the chemist building and the very long garden. It's a shame because there's a nice little wilderness in there, with the intention of putting a car park to the rear. There are many sticking points. The original idea had been to have a car park and a pedestrian access, and it's now failed on two fronts. First, it failed because the owner of the private Jenga's Mead car park, for many reasons I'm sure not beyond the realms of science to guess, did not want the pedestrian access to benefit nice shoppers in Billingshurst from one of his car park to someone else's car park. And then there's the issue that to get to this new HDC car park, motorists would be having to drive through the privately owned Sainsbury's car park. So it really is a complete hodgepodge of too many landowners.
I didn't think it was as complicated as that. It was a pedestrian access between the two.
No, the problem is now is the Sainsbury's.
Right. Is this problems with the lease?
We are not getting anywhere here,
No,
gentlemen. I'm going to call this. I don't know.
I want to ask something on the agenda. Not related to car park.
Right, Paul.
No, what I was going to ask is, we were talking, F&GP started talking about budgets, reserves, and money's a little tight. When it comes to the height barrier at Jubilee Fields, please tell me we're claiming not somebody's insurance for that, and we're not having to foot the bill.
Chairman, the gist is a member of the BSRA drove out to Jubilee and into the barrier. they said they would sort it. Someone else has since driven into the barrier whilst coming out of Jubilee. And the BSRA are, the last I heard of it last week, were going to arrange for its replacement.
Right.
But I am getting frustrated.
Yeah.
It's been repaired more times than HSC.
But you had opted this year.
How did they damage it going out without, not coming in?
So basically, at night, I think, they forget it's there and it's not particularly lit.
But if they're high, why didn't they hit it on the way in?
Because they opened it on the way and then forgot to
Oh, I
correct it on the way
see.
out.
Yes, Doug.
Well, I'll come back, I'm sorry, but we've just suddenly just abandoned the whole notion of the car park issue, and I don't know what we're supposed to be doing about it, or who.
You need to write to Greg.
Can I suggest if a
But
council
it's
wishes to
individuals to
propose-
individuals to do it, it's such a, I don't follow this at all.
Chairman, if I may, just to help members,
Yeah,
just try and work with members. If someone wants to plenary something, I'll gladly assist with the wording, so it's something positive that makes a good agenda item to go on the agenda, draft agenda for the chairman to approve.
it will be
Does that make
taken.
sense? Send me something and I'll work with you on it. I know, sorry, Chairman.
Well, who's going to, yeah, okay, but I mean, who is going to do it?
Because there's a couple of people in the room that potentially want to have
Exactly,
something
I'm
to say.
surprised you're asking.
And that's what I mean. I think what it is, it's just about, we've got a meeting in 3 weeks' time, which is full council. That there's an opportunity now to say, I'd like this to go on. That will then go to the chairman to say, that's absolutely fine. And then, well, not even that, sorry. But my point being is that, yeah, we're not going to do it now. It's not on the
This is
agenda.
outside
Yeah.
this particular meeting's conference. Date of the next meeting, 9th of September. Thank you very much.
Chairman, we've got some minutes running there.